Hello, hello. We are live in a VO's journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. Happy Monday, everybody. It is exciting to be here. We have Thanksgiving this week. I love Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, but it's probably no secret. I enjoy eating, so I love all the food, and we got lots of family coming in, so I'm really excited about that. I want to welcome everybody from Instagram, from Twitter, from YouTube and Facebook, all those places. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I've got a really cool topic, and I want to talk about this because I think that most people actually, unfortunately, are not doing this as voice actors. And today, if you saw the title, it's titled Voice Actor Branding Tips. And the importance of this cannot be overstated. Hey, John, good to have you. As a voice actor or any business owner, we have to brand. I mean, it is essential. And with that being said, hey, Jim, branding has to be at the forefront of your mind. No matter where you are within your business, no matter what you're doing, you've got to be working on your brand on a consistent basis. And the crazy thing is we are actually always working on our brand. We just probably either don't realize it or we're just not doing a good job of guiding what we want to say. The reason why, well, let me start out with this. What exactly is branding? And I think nowadays branding has become this huge word that means all sorts of different things, but it means, the meaning is kind of almost become synonymous with marketing in a way, right? Branding and marketing go hand in hand. But branding is like the story you tell the world about your business. That's a brand. And whether or not you are aware that you are telling that story or not, right? It doesn't matter. It is the story you are telling. People who are good at branding or businesses who are good at branding, they tell a story that sells their product for them. Okay, I was watching a video this morning. I watched Gary Vaynerchuk a lot, and he posted just a small snippet of a video he was talking about at a conference, and he pulled off his shoe. It was a Nike shoe, and he talked about how everything that we create is like commodities, right? Like perfect example. Our voices and our voiceovers that we create, MP3 files. That MP3 file, where it is unique and it is special, it is a commodity. Right. And he also pointed out, like you and I, right, we can compete against each other. We can work hard. But the reality is that I'm going to work hard, but you're probably going to work just as hard as I am. Right. You're going to work hard. So it's not like I'm going to outwork you or I'm not going to outwork the guy over there. All right. Sure, that can vary, but you understand what I'm talking about. But the difference with brand is, and he hold up his shoe, that Nike swoosh. That brand, that idea, that story, okay, what that means to us is worth trillions of dollars as opposed to the actual shoe, the commodity, right? That's the crazy thing. The commodity itself are voiceovers. Yes, they are worth much, and I don't want to say that I'm downplaying our work. But the point is that, as you all know, we can find voiceover work a lot of places from a lot of different people who are really good. The thing that separates us is our brand, our story, what it means to do business with us. And I'm always a big believer that I think people hire people or buy something not because of what it actually is, all right, but because of what it represents. Right? Or what is the story behind that? So I just wanted to be sure that you understand what a brand is, why a brand means something. Because brands are how we immediately decide whether we trust something or not. You know what I'm talking about, right? When I say Nike, you think of something automatically. Pictures of shoes, yes, but pictures of Michael Jordan, pictures of sports stars, pictures of athletes, pictures of, you pushing yourself to the limit. Do you know what I mean? Like these pictures come into your head. That's power. And you don't even have to have a word. It's just a little swoosh, right? And we know all of that stuff comes to mind. And we know if it's a Nike, we trust that brand, okay? Because it has built that up over years. So for us, Branding is so important because in a world of so many voice actors or business owners, we have got to separate ourselves. Okay? So I just wanted to get that out of the way about brand and everything. Welcome, everybody. I know a bunch of people are joining in different places. Thank you. Thank you. So let's go into kind of how to go about branding yourself. Okay? I wanted to talk about that, but real quickly, with some keys about how to do it. Remember what brands represent too, right? They represent recognition. They represent consistency, trust, all right? It's a promise. It's a promise that a brand has. So when you go to start to try to brand yourself, all right, well, how do you do it? How do you build all of that? Well, first off, you have to start producing the story. You've got to make your story. And to give you an example of this, I want to talk to you really quickly about my story. If you don't know my story about getting into voiceover, okay, then this will be interesting to you, but I've branded at least myself around my story about getting into voiceover, right? And the story goes about, a couple of years ago, I wanted to figure out a way as a middle-aged guy with a family and a mortgage and 2 kids and all this stuff and responsibilities and a full-time job and his wife with a full-time job. I wanted to figure out a way because even though I had those things, which were great, I wasn't really quite happy with where my career or my future was going with, my professional life. So I wanted to make a change. And I always had loved acting, but I could never find a way how to be an actor and still have a stable home life and not have to travel around and worry about this or that. So I came upon quite accidentally on my birthday, April 4th, onto voiceover. And I started watching a couple videos. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try this thing out. I like audiobooks. Why not? So I went out and I bought a $40 microphone. I got some packing blankets and some PVC pipe, and I built a fort, which I called my hobo fort, and I started. And at that point, from then on, that's when I decided, after a couple of books, that I wanted to be full-time at this. So I started a podcast, and the idea of the podcast was I was going to document, because I couldn't find anybody who was actually in the middle or just starting out in voiceover. I was going to document what it meant to have a life, and even though it wasn't a bad life, it was a great life, I wanted something more, and I wanted to document what that would look like. So I started doing that, and I documented all my successes and my failures, and I worked really hard year after year until I got to the point to where I was able to go full time. I was able to actually make that dream come true. And that's what I've branded my whole entire, and it's real, it's true. But I want to point out something to you. This was all about my journey. It wasn't about where I came from previously. It wasn't about some childhood trauma or things like that. I mean, we all have those things, and certainly your story can be about that. But for me, my story was simply about something I was trying to do, something that I wanted to do, something that was deep inside of me and I had to fulfill it. And I imagine if you're watching this show or you're doing right now and what you're trying to do, it could be similar in some way. You want to make this business work. You want to make the life that you dream come true. But see, here's the thing. Other people feel the same way. You relate to me probably with some of the things that I just told you with my story. You have the same story, and people want to find people they can connect with. That's a brand. That's a story. That's your story. Just why I started a VO's journey, because it was a voiceover. It was my voiceover journey. All right. So the point I'm trying to make is, I started that story right when I started with my goal, which was to become full-time. Now that I am full-time, my new goal is to help as many people as I can go full-time and enjoy the life that I do, and as well as grow my business, okay, to where I can double and triple what I bring in. But the point is that your story is unique to you because it's based on what you want and your desires. You could be a single mom raising a couple of children, and your goal is to be able to provide your family with a better life than what they have right now. Maybe that's your goal. Maybe you don't want to work for someone else and build their dream. Maybe you want to build your own dream. Maybe you are single and, you want to have a lifestyle to where you travel around and you don't want to be stuck listening to someone else tell you where to go and what to do. You want to do it on your own. All of these things can be what you want. You can tell that story, but you have to tell it. All right. And it matters. It matters to everybody. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk to me about my brand and branding in general, and that my content and everything works because I work with voice actors, but it doesn't work if I want voiceover work. And I completely disagree. In fact, I think that is the absolute opposite. What story you tell matters to everyone. It matters to everyone. It matters to voiceover clients. It matters to other businesses. It matters because when someone searches for you, when someone finds you, doesn't matter who they are, they're going to research you. We research everybody. Think about it. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter if you are applying to college, if you're applying for a job, if you just started to be a new friend with somebody. We all research each other. We do. It is a fact of life now. It's true. You do the same thing. I do too. What are they going to find when they research you? Okay, what are they going to see? Are they going to see all of your story and who you are, what you're about, what you stand for? Okay, what work you've done with other people, how your business is growing and succeeding. Are they going to find all of that? Or are they going to find nothing? Or worse, are they going to find some things that you don't want them to find, right? All right, so it's really important to not think about, the content I put out has to be so much about one thing. It does not. The content needs to be about your story, right? Think about Nike, for example. I mean, the perfect thing, when we're talking about Nike, Nike's whole thing is about stories of athletes pushing themselves beyond what they think is possible. And that's the story that's what Nike is. I mean, yeah, Shoe Dog came out and I did some work on that with their CEO and things like that. I mean, on the book and stuff that it came out, I'd actually done some summary books on it. But I'm just trying to say that it's the story that matters. All right? Nothing in those stories about Nike talk about the quality of their shoes. Think about it. And we probably all have a couple stories where they're not necessarily the greatest quality. All right, but it's not about that. It's about their story, about who those people are, the triumphs over the tough times that they went through. And remember, your tough time just has to be about you trying to overcome the challenge of reaching your goal or goals. And that's what I did. And most people who know me know that story. They know my little thing. Like part of my brand too is, Avio's Journey is a show about for the new and upcoming voiceover artists trying to grow their business and sidestep all of the landmines that I seem to step on. I've said that a million times because that's what I believe in. That's what Avio's Journey, the podcast show and everything was started for me to help others from my own journey. And it helped me too. You can do the same thing. It doesn't have to copy me. In fact, it can be about a couple things that you do on a regular basis that tell about who you are, or what you're about, or what your business is about. All right, kind of got off on a little tangent on that. I apologize. Let's keep moving forward. The last thing I want to talk about is kind of how to put how much content and things are we talking about here. Let's get to the meat of it. What exactly do you want me to do, Anthony, for goodness sake? So the rule of thumb here now is, and this is hard, what you should be working towards is putting out 50 to 100 pieces of content a day. And I'm going to tell you why you need to be doing that much. Because the reality is you put out, let's say you tweet something about, like I did this morning, where I love to wake up in the morning, and especially on Monday mornings or whatever, and I'm like, it feels so good to be a voiceover artist and everything. I put that out. Well, that's one piece, right? That's one piece of content. All right, and that tells, again, something about who I am and my brand. I love what I do. I'm a voice actor. I'm happy with the life. I'm positive. Okay, those are things. But that's one piece of content, right? I need to put out at least 49 more pieces of content today. This thing that I'm doing here, I'm at least right off the bat, that's five or six pieces of content. And then from that, I'm going to break it all up, use all kinds of different things, put it in podcasts, into blog posts, smaller videos, smaller sound bites, little tags and pictures and all sorts of things that I can do to make more content. That's how much content you need to be creating, because if you don't, no one is going to see you. Social media is so packed full of information. You know that. It's there 1 second, literally gone another. So you have got to be putting out content, not just about that, but also about who you target. I love the idea. I put on LinkedIn the other day, I said, hey, voice actors. Well, imagine if you put out, hey, real estate agents, hey moms, hey dads, hey, Steelers fans, right? Whatever. You could target, hey CISOs, right? If you know anything about cybersecurity and stuff, right? Anything you want to put out, you can target people too, which means that you can reuse the same content, which is what I suggest you do on a regular basis in order to reach the people you are trying to reach. It means so much to target multiple people, because that allows you to increase who you're seeing or who's seeing your stuff, but also more importantly, it allows you to use a piece of content to get it out there multiple times. All right. So you should be doing this. Now, I want to point out, I don't expect you all to go out tomorrow from creating no content or a couple pieces of content to creating 50 or 100 pieces, but you need to work up to it, and you need to build up your systems. You need to build up how you're going to get a pillar piece of content, meaning you're going to make one piece of content like I'm doing right now. I'm making a video for you. All right. Then from this video, I can use all sorts of content. And by the way, the more of these you build up, like if you think about, for myself, I look back, I have a huge library of podcasts, a huge library of videos. You can start to build those up yourself. And then from that, you can keep pulling from those and keep putting out content. Make sure that all revolves around the story you're trying to tell. But it means so much, even if it's not so much about you saying, hey, buy from me. Okay? That's not how it works now. People aren't interested in that. They're interested in hearing your story. And then once they connect to your story, then they will go find out what you're doing. Then they will go find out, what to get from you or how to buy from you. They'll figure it out. You don't have to tell them what they have to do. They'll figure it out. All right. So we have that. Let's see. By the way, on a other note, to kind of sum this all up, if you are not swamped with voiceover work, like meaning you have 8 to 10 hours a day of voiceover work and you can't stop doing because you got so much work you can't keep up, that's great. Then we could definitely talk about building systems and helping you find maybe a couple people to produce content because you're producing a lot already. But if you're not that swamped, you should be spending 90% of your time marketing and doing this work, because this is the work that will lead to you getting more consistent business. This is the work that will open up new avenues for you. This is the work that you'll build relationships, that you'll continue to get more leads and things like that. This leads to everything, your name and your brand. If someone wants to work with you, they're going to search for you. They're going to try to figure information out. By the way, auditioning. Do you honestly think that when you audition for something, that those people who look at you and are interested in you, they don't go online to find information about you? You know they do. Why wouldn't they? Everyone else does. So what are you saying online about yourself? Is it interesting to them? Are they going to find that interesting and appealing, or are they going to find you've got nothing there? Don't forget ever the power of your business's brand, or lack thereof. All right. Well, I was definitely on the soapbox there for a while. If you have any questions, just take a second. Woo! Calm on down now. Calm down. If you have any questions about this or anything, please go ahead and post it. I know we've got a lot of things. Let's see, over at Instagram. We're at DJ, diversifying a business can help build a brand offering more than one service. And that's absolutely right. And that's what I was talking about, being able to open up doors that you never thought were there. Okay, that also helps. But again, it gives people a way to find you and know who you are because they want to hire you, your story, your business's story. All right. And then what they get on the side is the commodity, which is our voiceover. Okay. That is why some people can charge so much money and some people can charge so little. Okay. All right. Because of the brand and who they are, what they stand for. All right. We got John, we got Jim, we got Hilton, Woody. We got Walter. Let's see. We've got Richard. What's up, man? I'm glad. We got Greg. Good to see you, buddy. We got Christiana. I'm just starting. I'm only 1 month in, and I'm going to document it. Also, you're helping me a lot, too. That's awesome. Thank you. Denzel Singleton. What's up, man? That's a former student of mine from school. It's awesome to see you on here, Denzel. Leroy, what's up? Let's see. I heard someone say, John, in God we trust, we check everyone else. I like that. Let's see. Rich, preach Anthony. I hear you, man. Big Jim, going to be great week, brother. Absolutely. All right, Hilton says, I agree with posting a bunch of content as long as there is value. Some spray and pray content. Value in content is so important. So I think that is, Hilton, that's really great. And I didn't talk a lot about value because value is everything, yes. But this is what I feel, as long as it is around your story, around what you're trying to say, around you accomplishing your goals, around you being real about what's happening with your business, all right, then the value will be there because someone will be able to connect with you and what you're going through because they're probably going through something similar or maybe getting there. However, Hilton, you're absolutely right. It is so important not to randomly post things just for the sake of posting them when they mean nothing in the context of your story. Now, remember, that doesn't mean that you don't find an interesting picture and that picture means something and you write a little snippet about it. That's perfectly about what you're trying to say. But it's important that it has to do with your story, or then you're just posting a waste of time. Okay, so that's a really good point. John, that was brilliant. Thank you. Megan, hi Megan. Let's see, Zach, silently watching. Thank you, Zach. John, when I was in teaching, I used to reuse learning materials to create new materials with a fresh view. Can I apply the same to voiceover? Absolutely. When we're talking about absolutely. And you have to understand too. Let's say, for example, this video, all of you people that are watching, all right, on all these different platforms, there's still hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other people who follow me who will not have seen this. So instead of me bothering you all with this same content, what would help is for me to take this content, format it in a way to where it would be interesting to you again, but it would also be able to reach other people who did not see it. That's important because, again, this is an ocean. The internet is an ocean, so we've got to be able to fill that up. And there's no way, honestly, to create that much content separately. I was trying, and it was a nightmare. I wasn't even coming close. But then as I did some research and really started thinking about using all this material like I'm creating right now, and then building that up and breaking it down and doing things like that, yes, that's a good idea. Now, I want to point out one thing again to you. This takes time. This is not easy. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it takes a few minutes and you're done and you've accomplished everything. I spend even now double to triple the amount of time doing this marketing and these things and branding than I do anything else. More so than voiceover work, more so than anything. I spend more time doing this. And you should too, because this is how people find you and see you. This will lead to you getting as much work as you can handle. Okay, but this is so important. So with that being said, you then need to figure out how do you do all of that stuff and open up YouTube, start searching, watch my videos, watch other videos. You can figure it out. There's every piece of information out there you could ever want to know on how to do this stuff, but we got to do it. Let's see. Zach, also be careful what you talk about personally on social media. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've turned everything single social media thing piece or whatever place that I am on has to do with my business. I don't have any personal social media thing. I'm not saying you do it differently, but my brand is me and my business. There's no place. What my business says is what I believe in. So if I wouldn't say it, like if my business wouldn't say it, I don't say it. Yeah. Greg, I was homeless for a short period of time as a single parent. It's been a long road. Greg, there's people who have gone through the same thing, who might be going through the same thing, who are struggling, who want to connect and learn from other people who are fighting and clawing their way to their goals, to accomplishing them. It's important that you tell your story, all right? And you don't have to say that. You can say, what you're doing now. But the point is that don't think that your story is not important, because it is. All right. David, don't be afraid to document failed experiments too. People appreciate the authenticity, much like Anthony talking about with his streaming problems. Yeah, that's right. Oh, the streaming problems. Yes, absolutely. Right? Because that's real life. That is real life. And honestly, more people are going to connect with you with that than they are about everything is just perfect. This never happens. Never happens. Absolutely not. And what you don't see is, like, right after this is over, it's going to take me another couple of hours to go through and do all that stuff I was telling you about. And it's hard. It's not easy. Now, I've done it enough now to where at least I know where to go, what to do, how to break things up, but it still takes time. Do you know what I mean? And then heaven forbid you mess something up, the audio isn't working. That stuff happens. But see, that's the stuff that separates us from everyone else who's not successful, is figuring that out. All right, so probably come in time. I've got a few more things here, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. Let's see. Christiana, every single day I'm realizing how much time this is going to take. There's so much to learn, but I'm researching every day. VO has become my passion, and that's how I know it's going to be successful. Absolutely. John said, I used to say fail equals first attempt in learning. I like that. And last thing, don't ever forget, we are business owners first. Then we do voiceover. We're business owners first. Then we do voiceover. If you remember that, you'll understand that running your business successfully and getting as much work as you possibly can revolves around how good of a business owner you are. Because I love you all, but including myself, there are people just as good as us and probably better at voiceover out there than us. What separates us is how good we run a business and how well we brand ourselves. All right? You guys have a wonderful Monday. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all the time. Have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to do Wednesday. I'm going to have something for you guys on Thursday, but I'm not going to do a live on Thursday. And and then I'll go back to live on Friday. If you haven't gotten a chance, please go ahead and follow me, subscribe, depending on what platform you are. Share this with somebody. Like it if you do. Leave a comment. And if you haven't got a chance to, listen to my podcast, A VO's Journey. You'll love it. There's almost 130 episodes. Can you believe that? So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.